I'm back, bitch, I'm back. Back dropping BST on that ass. Welcome to another episode of that good. It's that good motherfucker on my body and on my. God damn it. On my body and on my head and on my eyes is an assortment of shit, all except for the sunglasses, red and black. Got that red shirt, got that red K hat, got that red and black bandana, and got them black gauges up in motherfuckers' ears, dude. So here we are. We have reached episode 18 of this hoe ass season 2 of this hoe ass show that I know y'all love to hate and hate to love. So let's hop right into this shit. So a while back in the year of our Lord 2013, I was working at a little old place as a shipping and receiving clerk. I got that job through a staffing agency that was supposed to hook me up with some kind of accounting job because I have my accounting degree, my associates. That's not what happened. They hooked me up with a shipping and receiving job at a meatpacking plant. That shit was Tiny Toons to me, homies and homettes. Yeah, that shit was Tiny Toons because they was paying your boy $9.50 an hour. Sad, real sad and lame, dude. Almost said a word I ain't allowed to say. Gay. Shit was gay. I got gay friends. Anyway, shit was gay. They paid me $9.50 an hour. And I was desperate for a job at the time, so I just took it. Reluctantly, I was like, sure, I'll do whatever at this point. The place was called Standard Meat in Saginaw, Tejas. Yeah, we called it Substandard Meat, though, because working at that bitch was sad. And it was stupid, dude, a lot of the times. But I guess it was okay, because I stayed with it for a while. I was a shipping and receiving clerk, so I dealt with the incoming and outbound loads of meat that was coming in and out of that motherfucker. They was going against all kinds of USDA regulations by staying open and processing in the processing area with the meat past the hours they was supposed to do it. Breaking regulations, dude. That's what we was doing. So suffice it to say, long hours. There was one time I had to stay overnight in that bitch. Worked like a fucking 27-hour shift. Shit was sad. Anyway, yeah, long hours up in that bitch working for $9.50. I basically survived on overtime. You have mostly Hispanic individuals that spoke halfway English, halfway Spanish out on the floor, driving around forklifts and shit, putting loads of meat off in the trucks. And then you had two dudes that was independent contractors. One's name is Travis Beth. Shouts out Travis Beth. Anyway, they was called the Lumpers. I don't know why they called them Lumpers, but them was the dudes up in the truck grabbing and tossing and restacking the meats and shit. Intense physical labor that I was stoked I didn't have any part of. But I can imagine these two dudes could have fucked some people up, dude, because they were lifting heavy shit constantly for hours. Long fucking hours, lumping. I was sitting off in there in that office all the time, homie, click, clattering away on that keyboard doing my thing. I also worked the window, so I was the one that always had to deal with the truck drivers. And let me just tell you, the dregs of humanity these truck drivers were. There was like 3 out of the hundreds I dealt with that were tolerable and that were regulars who I saw on a basis that were pretty cool. The rest, scum. Scumbags, always bitching and whining about everything. When am I gonna get loaded? Waiting. They had to wait for long. In their defense, they had to wait for long ass fucking times for this meat to get cut and shit. It was sad. But they would be bitching and shit. So I had to develop a thick skin and start just telling them, dude, just get out there and fucking wait and shit. Like, I had to get like loud with some fools sometimes because they wanted to come in there and literally like fight over shit. One fool one time was saying he was going to come through the other side of the window and wear me out. These motherfuckers were always talking beefs, dude. Always talking mad hardcore shit. But I had to have that thick skin and tell them what was up. I didn't like most of them. Most of them were scumbags. But one was a particularly big scum. So, one time, I was sitting off in that office doing my thing. I had my stuff scattered around my desk and the window was right there in front of me. So, me with face-to-face with truck drivers was a common occurrence every fucking day, dude. So, one time we was there pretty late and I had to deal with this one Hispanic kid that was younger than me at the time that was driving a truck and shit. I just left my shit on the desk, did my thing, and there was one point where I had to go off in the plant, actually, and go talk to some dudes out on the floor, some of my homies. I probably could have just called them over the intercom. I had this dope-ass walkie-talkie type thing that I would press beep and then say shit into it and it would echo throughout the whole fucking plant, dude. It was awesome. So I would always get on the horn, dude, and be like, Caballero de Dios! This fucking horse of God, dude, as loud as possible over that intercom to everybody, dude. And all them Hispanic dudes out on the floor would be dying laughing, dude. It was hilarious. We had a great-ass time up at Substandard Meat. But this time, I had to go out there on the floor and regulate some shit. We was having some problems, homie. This truck driver that had just rolled up in here was supposed to get him a load of meat. But I had to go off in the fucking plant and tell the dudes what we needed to load up this fool. So when these trucks would back up to the doors, to the bay doors, and get their shit, we would have this hook that would hook onto the back of their truck and hold them in place. That way, nobody that was riding a forklift would suddenly fall and plummet off the edge of that dock, dude, if a truck decided to just pull off. So I told this dude as he was starting to grow impatient, hold up, let me go out here real quick. I'm going to regulate some shit. We going to get you loaded up. We hooking you in right now and we working on it. So he started to chill out a little bit. So I went out there and helped the dudes find the meats we needed and they began to load. Incoherent chatterings back and forth on the walkie-talkies, just doing our thing, coordinating. That was my job. That was my job, to coordinate this shit. Anyway, when you started getting them loaded up, I went back off in there in the office. I sat down at my desk. That fool was out in his truck. He didn't want to wait in the waiting room and shit, so he was gone. I sat down at my desk, and I was trying to text my girlfriend and see what was up with after work, if we was going to drink and get smashed. I began looking around for my phone and shit. Couldn't find it nowhere. I was like, what the fuck, man? I never misplace my stuff. I never lose my shit. I always know where it is. So I started getting frantic. I was like, right when I knew it was like gone from somewhere, I was like, dude, maybe I dropped this shit somewhere out in the plant and it might be run over by a forklift or something. So I went off out there in the plant, fool. And I started asking all my homies, you see a phone? You see a phone anywhere out here, fuckers? Where is my phone? I started suspecting. I was like, maybe somebody snatched it. But these were my homies, man. They loved me and I loved them. I was like, none of these fools would have taken it. We don't got no new dudes on the job that I can't trust or anything. So what the fuck? Where's my shit? Looked all around out in the plant, on the ground and everything. Had all my homies, all my minions out there scrambling, trying to find my shit. Couldn't find my shit nowheres, dude. Couldn't find it nowheres out in that plant. Couldn't find it nowheres in that office. Didn't have a clue what had happened to my shit. And suddenly it dawned on me that there was the possibility that this truck driver kid that was younger than me might have possibly snatched my phone when I had been out there talking to the homies. Call it what you will. I call it women's intuition. But I had a strong feeling after not being able to find my telephone anywhere that this punk-ass driver may have reached through that window onto my desk and snatched my shit. I told you I had a thick skin with these truck drivers, so I had no problem bebopping on out there to where this fool was sitting in his truck, coming up to his window, tap, 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 tap. On that fucking window, he was back in the cabin fucking sleeping or something, but he woke up, came up there. I was like, hey, man, Did you happen to see a cell phone? It was like an iPhone 4 or something. I was like, you happen to see an iPhone 4 sitting on my desk or anything like that, man? I can't find the shit nowhere. He was like, nah, man, I ain't seen nothing. My fucking spider senses were tingling up in my brain when that fool claimed he hadn't seen nothing. I was like, something tells me that this fool knows about the iPhone 4. But I went back in there to the office, racking my brain like, shit, man, how do I get, if this fool did take my phone, how am I going to get my phone back? Am I going to have to fight this dude or something? And I don't even know if he really did take it, so what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I sat there for a while thinking about all the shit I had stored on that phone, music-related shit, all kind of shit I didn't want to lose access to. I had been trained by the greatest con artist that I know in my lifetime, Mafaja. If you go back to that show I was talking about, the South Park season 1 that I ganked, that he found out that I ganked that shit, then you'll know he was setting traps, booby traps for people all the time. So I thought, what if I set a booby trap on this punk ass kid and try and find out if he did take my foe? So I did what any man would do. I grabbed up my ball sack, fucking lifted it up, shuffled it around my hands a little bit and said, fuck it, I'm going for it, dude. I'm gonna give it a try. Hopefully this doesn't end up in fisticuffs. So I went back out to this fool's truck again, this time with a much sterner look on my face. I knocked, tap, 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 on that fool's window, and he came up to the window again, looked at me like, what the fuck does this kid want, man? I said, I have told and instructed the dudes inside, they're done loading your shit, but we got that hook on you. I have instructed them to not release that hook, thus releasing you until I find out where this iPhone 4 went. I had sat down and analyzed the situation a little bit. This fool started scrambling and talking about, I don't know nothing about the phone or whatever. I was like, well, guess what, home slice? We got you on camera. There's cameras in the lobby and in the office, and we got you on camera taking my phone. We saw your hand reaching through that window and grabbing up my phone and pulling it back and shoving it in your pocket. So what now? I swear to God, fool. This dude started crying. Tears started welling up and pouring down his eyes. He started fucking choking and heaving a little bit because he was like sobbing, dude, because he fucking knew that he was caught. He was just like, dude, I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, I took it. I was like, well, where is it, dude? Where is it? So he reached off in his console, pulled it out. The OtterBox wasn't on it. I was like, I need that OtterBox too. Where's that motherfucker at? He had broke it in half trying to get it off the phone, but I was like, well, fuck it. I get my phone back, so what does it matter? This fool was still crying. It was fucking weird and sad. I just looked this fool dead in his eye sockets while he was crying and shit. And I was like, why, dude? Why would you take my shit? I don't understand. Like, why would somebody do some shit like that? As I have stories about me taking shit. But this was way after the times of me being a thief and shit. When I had turned my shit around and realized that was a horrible thing to do. And so I was just like, dude, why would you take it, man? Just making him feel bad about it, dude. He had no rebuttal. He just kept saying, I don't know why. I guess for the money, I was going to sell it and shit. I was like, well, did you reset it? Did you fucking erase everything off it and shit? He was like, I was in the process of doing that when you came out here. So luckily he hadn't deleted all my data off of it, all of my music stuff and the text from my girlfriend and everything. So I was like, give me that shit back, dude. He did. And I was like, man, I hate to break it to you, homie, but there ain't no cameras in the office or the lobby. There ain't no cameras at all. I just knew your ass had taken my shit. You a bad liar. You ain't a good liar, motherfucker. Anyway, After this fool had suffered utter defeat and humiliation, we unhooked him and let him go on his merry way. I was like, peace, homie. Thanks for my shit back. Thanks for trying to thieve on me and shit, but you ain't good at this fucking life of crime you trying to get into. So I got my phone back. We unhooked him. He took off. Next day, was telling my supervisor all about it. All the dudes on the floor knew, and we had a good laugh about how I stole my shit back from him after he tried to get it from me. We had a good laugh about it, and I told my supervisor, her name was Tara, told her next day, dude, you won't believe what shit happened last night at about midnight because we were still working. Told her the story. She was livid about it. Every time a truck driver came in, they had to sign in with their name and number and shit. So we had this fool's credentials. So she immediately got on the phone talking about beep, 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 beep. Called up his trucking company. I think it was R&L Carriers. Psych, I don't know, but I do hate some R&L. I don't know who he worked for, can't remember. But she called up his main people, went through all kinds of channels and hoops to try to get to who she needed to talk to. And she said, you need to fire this motherfucker because he tried to steal from our fucking warehouse. They fucking shit canned this fool, dude. He got shit canned right away after Tara fucking bitched them out for hiring that fool in the first place, dude. He got shit canned. So not only was he humiliated and debased in every fucking way, but he also lost his job. I kind of feel a little bit bad for him because he didn't even get away with it. He didn't even get his phone out of it. He just got humiliated, dude. But that's what happens when you try to be a career criminal and you suck at it, dude. But of course, it wouldn't be a K-Spear victory if I didn't gloat about it. So I gloated and gloated about it to everybody. I was like, guess what I did? I fucking caught a motherfucker trying to take my shit by bluffing on his ass. I told everybody, dude. And here I am telling you. But anyhoozle, I got my shit back. I felt good about how I had stopped crime, how I had put the rod of justice down upon some motherfuckers trying to commit criminal acts upon me. Yeah, so I felt good about it, gloated to everybody, and now I'm gloating to you to tell you the story because that's the one I got queued up for you today. Anyway, that's about it. We've reached completion. We done now. We done, we made it through the shit. We done, we made it through this bullshit story. That's my new song right there. Anyway, we gonna sing the usual outro song though, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here and let you enjoy the rest of your day now that I've told you this story of humiliation and thievery.
Until the next time.